we're back with another brand new episode of the Let's Not Do This podcast. Sitting alongside two of the three unwise men. You got the big O, Leon Oliver. Sitting across from me, Scotti Too Hottie. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. A little tired, but I'll be all right. Had a interesting time at the game this weekend.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We did go to a little football action there. Ryan stood us up, but that's okay. Old man Ryan over here writing down something. He's got an abacus and maybe a thesaurus or something around here.
Man, formulating these picks.
Is that a word?
Formulating?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Probably.
Okay. Sounds like it. I just want to make sure. You know, some of the vocabulary from Ryan today was phased out of school, and you can't use some of those books anymore. So,
Well, you know, kids have these iBooks and everything.
Did you just say iBook?
Ain't that's what they called?
Yeah, it's a word.
MacBooks.
Yeah, MacBooks.
There it is.
I think it's you mean iPad, maybe, or
There you
MacBook
go. Hey,
Pro?
man, I'm not a technology guy.
We need a new sound drop from you, Scotty. You might be elderly.
Use that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right. So, interesting weekend of football. I think the Denver Broncos may have just been scored on again. I'm not quite sure as we record this right now at, was it 7:57 on Tuesday, September 26th, the year of our Lord, 2023. I guess, Scotty, you kind of opened up with it a little bit. College football, you and I went to Charlottesville. What was it, Friday night, right?
Friday night.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I was hoping for for UVA to get blown out. That didn't happen, but it was almost just as satisfying to see them just beat themselves at the end. And then all the UVA fans, when they blocked that field goal, and then we saw the flag, me and Leon immediately were like leaping, and everybody was like when they called it, what is leaping? What is that? It's like, you idiots.
Virginia hosting NC State Friday night at Scott Stadium, and yeah, the Cavaliers pushed the Wolfpack to the limit there before NC State escaped what would have been a very embarrassing loss, getting the win thanks to a Brendan Narveson field goal as time expired, a walk-off, which, as Scotty mentioned, the previous kick was blocked, but called back due to leaping. Quite a very uninspiring game and an uninspiring atmosphere in Charlottesville. This was your first trip to Scott Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Would you go back?
To see them lose, of course. Yeah, that was the best part.
All day.
Even though I forgot my jacket and the storm came in through the second half.
Yeah, Scotty was shivering like an old woman.
You have a jacket on out there?
I left it in the car.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was shivering like an old woman in the
I was for a little bit.
Doctor's office.
Once I got like an actual layer of rain on me, I kind of just got used to it, and that was good.
I was hoping that he was going to take himself to the merchandise tent and buy a Virginia
I thought about
jacket.
it. I thought about it and turned it inside out. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
They didn't have those slickers out there, those
ponchos,
plastic thing. Yeah,
yeah. One of the guys that we were with, he got a poncho from the guy that was sitting next to him, and then they promptly left in true Virginia fan fashion. They promptly left like midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, that was his last poncho. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the other people that were sitting next to Scotty, who I used to work with in radio there, they left, I think, as soon as the first drop of rain hit, which might have been in early third quarter.
They were out. Midway through the third, maybe. The student section abandoned all hope as the first raindrop fell too, which, by the way, was the most depressing thing, Ryan, I've ever seen. Virginia was doing giveaways throughout the whole game for the students. Okay, great. But you had to be present to win. And it was like scooters and iPads and AirPods. It was like expensive stuff. And that was like, I guess, to entice them to actually, stay to watch the football game. When you were in Raleigh, did they, give you a dictionary or anything like that to actually stay, or a new slide ruler?
No, not at all. Like literally, when I was in school, if you left the stadium at halftime, you couldn't come back in. So. Oh,
NC State didn't have the pass outs back then?
Not back then, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Scotty, if you don't know, NC State's one of the, it might be less than 10 schools where you can, I think Clemson, you can, I think maybe, where you can leave the stadium, go out, and come back in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we could do that at Tech.
Yeah.
I did get in one time without tickets, though. I just showed my ID because I left them in the dorm.
They probably just felt bad for you.
Probably.
Dumb student is great.
Pretty much.
Yeah, which is NC State's big problem because nobody returns for the second half, regardless of how important or how big the game is or what the score is, because Wolfpack fans they like to drink. So they would just go out in the parking lot and get obliterated and not come back into Carter Finley. Virginia has the problem of just getting people into the stadium, period, point blank.
Yeah.
But the students, they had to literally bribe them to stay.
Was the crowd not nice? I mean, on TV, look, the crowd was okay. I mean,
the student section was pretty packed, but everything else was pretty bare.
The lower bowl toward the student section was full, and some on the visitors' corner where NC State did not bring the band, which I thought was interesting because the visiting band does have the best seats in Scott Stadium. Like where they project out to the rest of the stadium. That was, but the top of the stadium was just sparse. Like, especially toward the end of the game, while the issue is still in doubt, this game literally came down to the last seconds. There's no one in sections. I was counting sections where there was no one.
Hey, man, that weather probably turned a lot of people away or said, screw it, I'm going home.
Yeah.
It's wet. It's cold. It's whatever, 10:30.
Got to beat the traffic. Matlock's on in Charlottesville.
There you go.
Yeah. So, well, that was interesting. Then that was Friday. Before that, I went to a concert. I went to the Thomas Rhett, John Paul Jones Arena the day before, and promptly busted up my knee again, drunkenly falling after buying tacos at a taqueria. So, do I have a lawsuit against the taqueria?
They gave you like 4 tacos, right?
Yeah, they gave me free tacos. I lost one taco, and they gave me 4.
I'm going to say you took that as settlement or something like that.
Signed over my arbitration rights.
They'll use that against you in court.
Oh, geez. Well,
I was trying to get them to fall Friday so we can get some free food.
Speaking of which, Friday, Virginia's got to do something. I've been to a lot of different stadiums. The parking there, and I get the grounds is it's small. There's not a lot of great parking areas, and the parking that they do have, it's you got to be somebody important, high dollar people. I don't know why I'm choking. Maybe I'm just so mad because of this. We took a shuttle to the stadium. Okay, and then after the game, all the shuttles were like accessibility, but you had to have some sort of pass for these shuttles, which there were 19 of them. We couldn't find ours. So we had to walk like a mile or so back to where we were, uphill and downhill. It's not good for a fat guy with a busted knee.
So they assigned shuttles?
Yeah, it's like it said like accessibility shuttles, and but they had the handicap placard, but like these were like 14 buses. There weren't that many handicap people.
Yeah, because the lady asked us for a wristband, so I guess maybe they had to pay for it at some point because ours were free, but the drivers were acting like they didn't know what was going on. I'm like, you have one job. They're acting all confused. Like,
our driver also.
I was like, yeah, he's definitely not going to be there when we're leaving.
Our driver also hit like 14 cones. On the way to the stadium too. So it might have been his first day driving the bus.
Possibly.
I would have felt more confident, Ryan, with you behind the wheel.
I mean, I don't have my CDL. Is that the license you have to have?
CDL, yeah.
I don't have my CDL, but I think I probably could avoid 14 cones.
Yeah.
It was rough. Well, it was an ugly game, just downright pitiful. But hey, Virginia falls to what are they? 0-4. NC State went to 3-1. 3-1. Yeah. We'll talk more about college coming up here in just a little bit. But NFL, what a weekend it was in the NFL. Some upsets galore, some crazy stuff. I think Denver might have just been scored on again, perhaps. Did you guys watch that game, Denver and Miami?
Not really. I mean, I saw all the touchdowns and everything, but I really wasn't paying attention because it got away from it was like a blowout, like right away. So
I mean, literally, like the first drive, Tyreek Hill just boom, he's gone. Like a little drag route over the middle, and just the Jets are on, and they're just gone. Miami's funny. They their offense is the closest thing you can get to Canadian football in America because like they use so much motion and then these guys are getting up to speed essentially as the ball is snapped. I mean, it's just a cheat code, especially when you look at how fast that team is.
Yeah, somebody was talking. I think is it Andrew Hawkins that's on ESPN now? How if you put Tyreek Hill in motion, like he's so fast, like you can't guard him. Like,
They said that they have the top 5 speeds, gameplay speeds of the year. I think like Tyreek Hill has like 2 or 3 of them. Mostert has 1, and then Achane has another one. Like they're just
Achane.
Achane.
He came out yesterday. It's Devon Achane.
Achane. Sorry, Devon, if you're listening. Achane, Devon Achane. Those guys. It's a track team, man. I mean, it's literally like fast break football. Like if there was such thing as fast break basketball where teams just push the ball. That's kind of what they're doing. Like the no look thing that Tua did, the no-look shovel pass.
Yeah.
When Tariq was doing the end around and he faked it to him and just shoveled it to Mostert or one of the running backs. I was like, this is like playground ball. I mean, like McDaniels is over there just making up plays.
Yeah, I like that it happened against Sean Payton. I've never really been a fan. He's a good coach, but he's not.
Is he?
I said good.
Yeah.
I'll give him good. But he's not one of these great coaches.
Is he a Drew Brees?
Maybe.
A Drew Brees coach, like he's just good because
he's not as good as he thinks he is. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, y'all's 2 football teams aren't as good as y'all thought they were either, I guess, this weekend. I think Sam Howell has just thrown another interception, Scotty. 4 interceptions on the day for him, and the Bills recovered a fumble as well. What was the final score, like 37-3 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I mean, I didn't expect to get beat by that much, but I knew we were going to have a letdown. But that game was, the score looks bad, but it was 16-0 going into the fourth quarter, and then we just kept turning the ball over.
I watched bits and pieces of that. I was mainly on Red Zone, as I am most Sundays. It looked like it was a decent crowd. Did they have a sellout in Washington?
They sold out.
Yeah,
they said something about that earlier in the week.
And I think they had alumni coming back too, right? Like it was like a bunch of former players and stuff, things that you really haven't seen under Dan Snyder.
Yeah. I think they had like 175. I think Tim Hightower, who was a running back at the University of Richmond, he's like head of the alumni function thing to get the players come back together, get them back, coming back to the Commanders, and just the former player interaction guy, basically, if whatever the term that is. But yeah, he interviewed and said, it was so easy this year getting 175 players to come back. I was just like, I wonder why.
I feel like
what changed?
Everybody's been waiting on Snyder to go.
Yeah.
I told y'all I didn't think it was going to be this quick, but I told y'all the fans will be back. We just got to start winning some games now.
That's the thing, because eventually, the whole "King is dead" mantra is going to wear off at some point. I hate to make a political reference, but it's kind of like the Arab Spring. Like once you get some dictators out, now you have to govern. What's going to happen here?
Like the honeymoon phase. Everybody's like fuzzy and feeling good, but week 10, if they're like 3-7, then people are gonna be like, well.
I did see when they got their last touchdown, maybe there was a woman fan in the stands, and she like had her hand over her head and was like all distraught. I'm like, you must be new here. Like,
are you not familiar with this, ma'am?
I don't know what this is.
And then Ryan, the Cowboys came cratering back to earth. Just looked like they got outclassed in every respect by the Arizona Cardinals, which, by the way, no longer laughing stocks. Jonathan Gannon, maybe he's got who's the head coach in Philadelphia? Nick Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's got kind of a Sirianni thing. Remember when he first got hired, everyone's clowning him, the press conference and all this stuff? I felt like Gannon got some of that stuff at first, and then
that's striking.
Yeah, all the Shane Steichen, yeah.
Steichen, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then all this stuff with, Josh Dobbs, and they got him off the street and he's starting. Those guys are just playing as a unit and playing good football. Dallas just ran into something.
Yeah, they weren't ready. I think they were reading their press clips, and this was the first game that Dallas actually had to play a normal football game. The first 2 games, I mean, the Giants basically handed them the game early on, and then the Jets game was kind of like, the Jets are so dysfunctional on offense, they really have to do anything, Dallas offensively, because the Jets are going to turn it over or kick the ball back to them anyway and give them a short field to drive on. I mean, the Cardinals basically made them play football in terms of like offensively, you have to do something to beat us. And they never got behind. So the Cardinals are never behind. So basically, they didn't have to throw the ball where Micah and the other pass rushers could just pin their ears back. They have to stop the run, which is, again, that's the blueprint to beat Dallas, is run the ball. Run the ball. We're not a good run team, run-stopping team.
The Cardinals' defense is like looking legit.
Yeah, they're good too.
Yeah.
I was a little worried when I forget who the linebacker was. I was talking shit to Dak. You could see him calling him a bum and saying he was ass.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, you're gonna wake him up. But then like a couple plays later, he threw an interception. I'm like, oh, never mind. Yeah.
Well, the trash talking worked out better for him than it did for Colorado. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the program here. But NFL, I guess we can go into the picks here. Last week, I think it was probably my best week so far. I went.
No.
No, it wasn't.
What? Maybe your personal picks.
No, I went. I went 1 and 2. You're right. I almost went 2 and 1. What I changed. So on my board that I'm looking at here, so I took Tennessee plus the 3, which was absolutely stupid. when I was reading my notes last week, I switched on the fly to Tennessee +3. I had Cleveland -3, but then as I was going over everything I was saying in my head, I switched it at the last minute. And so, yeah, that's what was throwing me off. So I went 1-2 in the NFL. Scotti, what'd you do?
I actually went 3-0 in the NFL last week.
Would you rig it?
I had Bills and Dolphins both at -6.5, and then had the over 47.5 in the Kansas City game.
There you go, Ryan.
1-2, worst week of the year so far. I picked the Panthers Seahawks game over 42 points. I think that was a 60-point combined total in that game. We were in the 60s, but lost out on the Jets. Had them +3. I just underestimated the terribleness, the ineptitude, the grossness of
Zach Wilson
and Jets offense. It was +3.
Was there a safety at the end of that game?
Yeah, that cost me.
Yeah,
that would pretty much cost me. Yeah, because they lost by 5, and then Steelers Raiders. I think I missed that by like a point. I can't remember the final score of that game, but I believe it was like 20. Oh, give me 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it was
23-18. So it was 41. It was over. The line was I had over 43, so I missed that by a couple of points. So not a great week, but
I forget what. I think somebody had bet that safety was the only safety that there was all week, right?
Maybe.
I think someone they put in the parlay that there was going to be no safeties.
Yeah, that's like a thing now.
Yeah, it was they put $24,000 on it.
Minshew stepped out. He had a safety.
Yeah, Minshew stepped out too. Okay, so but this guy put in somebody put in a no safety parlay. It was $24,000. It was only going to pay $960. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Man, just got too much money.
Yeah.
I think DraftKings posted it the week before because some people were doing it and it hit. So you got suckered.
I just suck on this show right now, but straight up on the ESPN thing, which, it's 50-50 chance, but, my inner Jimmy the Greek, that's what he was doing. He was giving them straight up back in the day. I'm 33-15, 99.2% picking them straight up. But on the spread and getting the overs and unders, I'm dying right now. So I'm dying.
Maybe just hit money lines, just on money lines. And
you just haven't hit your hot streak yet.
Yeah, there we go. Well, hopefully that'll start this week, and I'll start things off this week. NFL in Wembley Stadium in beautiful London town. The Jacksonville Jaguars 1-2 coming off that disappointing loss to the Texans, hosting the 2-1 Atlanta Falcons, 9:30 on ESPN+. So everyone get ready for your uncle, your grandfather, your father, all the old people in your life, Ryan, to be calling you to try to tell you, where's the football game and how do I watch it? Just get ready for that. It's on ESPN+. Jags are 3-point favorites in this. Over-under is at 43.5. This is the 10th game in London for Jacksonville overall. They're 4-5. But hey, international games can be kind of zany. We always see weird things happen over there. The travel is off. It throws everything into a tizzy. And I think this is probably good for Jacksonville coming off that bad loss. Just you dump the tape. You're getting out of the country. You're just getting away from everything and going back to a place that you're familiar with.
Right.
So I think this could actually galvanize them. I'm going to go ahead and take Jacksonville -3. I think to get back on track this week in London.
Okay.
Next up in the worst game of the week, Denver at Chicago. Both teams 0-3. Both teams thoroughly embarrassed last week. I think Denver has just been scored on again. By the way, Taylor Swift probably will not be at this game like she was at the last Bears game.
Maybe not. Probably not.
But so Sunday, 1 o'clock CBS, Denver 3.5-point favorites, over under 41 here. Both teams just absolute dumpster fire. The Bears may have had the worst week ever. The defensive coordinator resigns. There's all sorts of questionable criminal activity and investigations around him. They had, $10,000 of lawn equipment stolen from the stadium.
Yep.
Justin Fields' comments going into last week, throwing the coaching staff under the bus and then having to walk those back. Then he gets hurt during the game. Maybe a concussion. DJ Moore has to seriously force him out of the game. And then they put him back in, down 38. That's supposed to be your franchise guy. They put him back in.
Yeah, I knew they were losing when they walked in.
Shut up! Shut up!
I have a feeling that's not going to be the last Taylor Swift pun.
Oh, it was a Swift kick in the ass for the Bears last week. But yeah, I'm taking Denver
minus the 3.5. Both teams are a train wreck. I think Denver just has more talent. You give me Russell Wilson versus Justin Fields right now. I'm just going to go ahead and take Russell. Yeah.
Good luck.
And then,
I'm gonna say that
that's an ugly game.
Yeah. Hey, you got to start somewhere. I'm digging low here.
I was trying to look at the total on that game. I just couldn't.
I was thinking that too. So you may just want to go for the damn over-under on that.
I was thinking that.
Double it up.
Yeah. And then for my third one here, Washington at Philadelphia, two NFC East foes rekindling their hatred. Sunday, 1 o'clock on Fox. Eagles, 8-point favorites, over under 44.5 here. Washington, 5 turnovers last week, 4 Sam Howell picks, and Antonio Gibson lost the fumble. Here's the thing. Washington gave up 168 rushing yards to Buffalo, and Philadelphia has the second best rushing offense in the league, averaging 185.7 points a game yards a game on the ground. I think Philly, with that running back by committee that they have now, I think they're just going to run and run and run and run and run some more. I like Philly minus the 8. And in fact, if you want to push that up to maybe 10, I'd say, you know what? Go ahead and put me down officially for 10. Philly minus the 10.
Wow.
Is my lock of the week.
Okay.
Doing alt lines. He's hurting himself.
For no reason.
Right.
I'm not cocky. I'm confident. So when you tell me I'm the best, it's a compliment. That was our Negro poet, Jada Kiss there. I can say that word.
You said it, yeah.
I can say that word.
Staying out of
I am part of the tribe here.
We YouTube is giving us some guff here lately. You don't need to.
I can say that word.
Well, you can. You can. I just,
I don't say it much, but I gotta get my feeling.
You said it at the game. You were singing a song.
Oh no!
I forget what song
I
it was.
referenced that somebody. I referenced that somebody I used to work with who's still at this organization. I don't know why, but I call him the HNIC. Yeah,
I was like, damn, I wish Lance was here right now.
and he is and he is not. This is not a person that can say that word. So I don't know.
Right.
Why.
I know. No. So I guess what it was. I said, "Did you just say HNIC?" And then you told me what it meant. Like I didn't know. Like,
wasn't it in Lean on Me? Didn't Joe Clark say that?
Maybe.
For some odd reason, Joe Clark popped into my head when I was thinking about this person, and this person could not be further from Joe Clark. And we're not talking about the baseball player. We're talking about the crazy man with the bat.
The only one I know is, they used to call me crazy, but now they call me Batman. He was in front of the school with the bat in his hand.
That'd be Ryan. That'd be Ryan if he was a principal.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of Ryan,
I tried to look it up, but it said hockey night in Canada,
which, by
That's
the way,
not what we're looking for,
has the best theme music of all. Hockey Night in Canada.
What's the theme music? Oh, it's just very.
Yeah, well, we'll get cleaned if I play it. I'll play it for y'all off the air. Ladies and gentlemen, Google the Hockey Night in Canada music. It's great. It's better than like Fox NFL Sunday or anything like that. The only thing that holds a candle to is the SEC, Big Ten now on CBS.
Yeah.
And the man that was alive when CBS was first invented, Ryan, what are your picks? You got Sonny Jurgensen throwing 2 touchdowns this week?
No, can I say the word Redskins? No Redskins picks this week.
Hey, there's a lawsuit trying to bring the name back.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
We may have the name back again. Everybody save your Redskin paraphernalia if you have it. My first game of the week will be Bucks at Saints in the Superdome in NOLA. I have it. I'm gonna take the Bucks plus 3.5. Bucks looked good last week against Philly. Last night, I guess, at Philly. I mean, they lost by 14, but they played tough. Philly's just a better team than them, but they're playing good ball overall. Rashad White needs to stop dropping the ball.
It's my fault. He's on my fantasy team.
God, he kept dropping the ball, man. I thought Todd Bowles was gonna have a stroke on the sideline watching that. But anyway, I with Derek Carr's possibly not playing, I know he has the AC joint issue. I'm shocked that they're giving the Bucks these many points. But again, maybe Derek Carr is in better condition. But everything I'm reading is that they'll probably sit him out just to be just for caution's sake, since it's early in the season and whatnot. So I like the Bucks plus 3.5. I know it's in the dome, but I like that. I like that they're getting those points. Second game of the week that I'm picking is going to be in Jerry World. Patriots at Cowboys. The over-under that I have on that is 43. I'm going to pick the under on that. I think this game is going to be a defensive matchup. It may be the most ugly game of the week because I think that, one, Belichick just schemes well defensively. I think he will slow down Dallas's offense. Dallas is having a rough time in the red zone. I think they've only scored 3 touchdowns in their last 8 opportunities they've had in the red zone the last 2 games. So they're having issues scoring, so I think there'll be a lot of field goals. The Patriots' offense, of course, is not anything to admire right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of short passes, probably a lot of running with Stevenson, and I know Zeke's coming home back to Dallas. So you'll probably just see a lot of running, a lot of punting, a lot of field goals. I just think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It could be something in the works of 23-10 Dallas or 23-13 Dallas. It just feels like it's going to be a low-scoring game. Last game of the week.
If I will, before you go to that last one, Dallas isn't the only one that has problems scoring, so does Scotti.
Hey.
Go on.
Fuck you.
I was gonna let Scotti retort. There's his retort.
Yeah. No comment.
Last game of the week is the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce game of the week. Kansas City Chiefs at the New York Jets. Again, kind of going around the same lines as, well, not the same lines as the Cowboys Patriots game, but again, a game with a very inept offense, which is the Jets, against a team whose defense has been surprisingly really, really good this year in Kansas City's. The over-under on that is 42.5. I could see that game getting ugly early. I could see it being I think the Jets defense will hold Kansas City down a little bit, but I mean, it could be a 27-10 game or, 30-10 game or something like that. I just don't see the Jets scoring more than 10 points on the Kansas City's defense the way they're playing. I think Kansas City will get up early, kind of like they did against the Chiefs, and hopefully they'll start pulling the players a little bit more, start pulling the starters, kind of like they did against the Bears. But again, them being on the road may slow their offense down a little bit. They may not be as good as they were on Sunday against the Bears, but I feel like the Jets defense will give them a little more resistance than the Bears did. So again, I think it'll be a under game. I'm sorry, did I say over under?
Under
42.5 Chiefs Jets.
You think Taylor Swift's going to be at that game? It's in New York or New Jersey or whatever you want to.
Never know. Never know.
It might be a little chilly. She might have to wear her cardigan.
Is that a Taylor Swift
yeah.
song? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Y'all are better than
I know
me
she
on
always
that, man.
references cardigans. My wife.
I looked it up before.
My wife listens to that shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
come for me, Swifties. I'm scared of the army of 15-year-old girls. Come for me.
They're learning football. I heard on the radio today that they have like a Reddit, I guess their Reddit page or whatever, that they're like learning football and, rules and stuff like that.
Is that paper that was found in the booth, was that real?
KFC from Barstool had a video that he did, and there was allegedly a paper found in the booth, and it was like explaining football to her. And one of the things that cracked me up was the Chiefs fans do the tomahawk chop, which I'll do it on the show here, and they were like, "Don't do that. We're not sure yet. It could be problematic." So, but I don't think that's real. But there was a girl that did put out like a cheat sheet for Swifties trying to get into football. They're like, you get 4 tries, and she put downs to go 10 yards, and then if you do, you get to go again. And all these girls were like, "What's a try?" And they're like, "Oh my god, it was." Yeah.
What I heard on the radio this morning, they were saying like on the Reddit page, they were saying like you get 4 tries to get a first down, or 4 plays to get a first down. They're like, how do you know when you get a first down? They're like, you see the solid lines on the field, like the 10-yard line, the 20-yard. That's when you know you have a first down. I was just like,
it's funny they say try.
Yes and no.
Yeah. When y'all met Justin, when he was with his ex-wife, we were at the house one day, and we were trying to explain to her, and she was like, "Oh, it's 4th try. Like, it's 4th try and 2." We're just like,
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And if you want to confuse some of our international Swifties more, if you score in rugby, that's called a try.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you bring the ball over the line, that's a try.
So, do you think that every road team, and even Kansas City, are gonna like do things to facilitate more Swifties? Like if Kansas City came to what's a really terrible team that like they
Chargers.
You're right. Yeah, if they came to
Chargers,
LA, if they came to Chargers, you think they would like have like Taylor Swift, activities, things for them for people to do to where they would attract the Swifties just to come in and
I think if you're a team struggling to fill your stadium, yeah. Otherwise, no, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
I think it's brilliant marketing. I hate everything of when they kept showing her during the game the other day. Nothing against her. I just when I'm watching football, I want to watch the goddamn football game. I don't care. It could be Lou Rawls there. Is Lou Rawls dead?
Yes.
Okay. I was looking at Ryan, and I was like, "Who's a celebrity Ryan knows?" I was like, "Oh, he probably watched the Lou Rawls."
We need to play a game. Is he dead?
Is he dead?
Dead or alive?
Yeah. The Lou Rawls Parade of Stars. Good God, when's the last time someone heard that? But yeah, I don't care. Like I just want to watch the game. That being said, it's a brilliant marketing standpoint. It's just like MLS. Like the commissioner Don Garber was like, these teams, I can't tell you what to do, he said, but like if Messi's coming to your town, if Inter Miami's coming to your town, find a way to capitalize that, Yeah. It's like when Jordan was on the Wizards, like he comes out of retirement and people are trying to sell more tickets because you want to see Jordan, maybe you didn't get to see him when he was a Bull, I think it's smart. And if somebody's selling merch or something like that, and sometimes you go to visiting to another baseball stadium, and sometimes they sell the visiting team's apparel and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you got some custom Taylor Swift Chiefs jerseys or some pink Chiefs gear or something like that, I think that would just good business.
I'm just wondering, like, what type of well, actually, to confirm Lou Rawls' death, yes, he died January 6, 2006. So it's been a while.
The Parade of Stars ain't parading no more.
It's been a little bit.
January 6th, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes. Well.
Boring.
Oh, I hit the wrong one. God damn it. I thought there was another one there. Sorry, Lou. You were never boring.
Well,
that telethon was. I'm not going to lie to you.
well, my original point was, do you think that Taylor Swift and the NFL are in cahoots? Like Taylor Swift's like, yeah, I'll show up to the game if this increases attendance and gives you more sales of Kelce jerseys or even my jerseys. If people make it, can I get a cut? Can I get a little, slice of the pie?
I won't say I think that, but it's definitely possible because it is kind of like these rumors happen. All of a sudden, she's just in the booth with his mom, and it is all kind of like, are they really dating or is just?
Is this a brilliant marketing thing?
Yeah.
You brought up a good point because I'm not into this world. I got no idea. But that picture of them walking out of the stadium, which was apparently recorded by Jarrett Payton, Walter Payton's son. I don't know why. He was, whatever. Apparently, they were saying that Travis Kelce was wearing something. I guess she's re-releasing something, 1989 CD or something. And what he was wearing was like in reference to that. And so I was like, what the fuck? That's some cerebral. Yeah. And Travis Kelce, look, you can say a lot of things about him. I don't think cerebral is one of those things.
No.
It's kind of like Gronk. It's like Kelce smash, Kelce drink. I think those are the same guy. I don't think he was smart enough to figure that one out there. So I think there's something going on there.
So that's the name of her album is 1989?
Yeah, I think it is.
That's why I was getting confused looking at her songs because it would say 1989. I thought it was I'm like, she ain't making music that long ago.
Well, that's the year they're both 33 too. So I'm assuming that's the year they were born.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a lot of connections going there.
And, if you're smart, everyone's talking about the Chiefs. The Kelce jerseys are up 400%. What about, apparently her favorite number is 13, which is also my favorite number. So we got that going for me. Thank you, Dan Marino. But if you're selling Swift 13 jerseys, how many of those do you think are getting printed on NFL Shop right now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is there a copyright thing? Is there a thing where she has to license out her name or her?
I think you can put whatever name you want as long as it's not offensive.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like you could, I'm sure you could go pull up a Cowboys jersey right now and put Mahomes 15 on the back, probably if you want. You'd be a dumbass, but you probably could.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. I just didn't know if they'd make it some type of specialty, like it'd have a commemorative, like a patch or something that's like different.
It's a commemorative patch, and it's Justin Fields on the ground being sacked. And he's got that on the patch right there. Sure. It's got the date and everything. Yeah,
exactly.
And it says "Shake it off."
Oh.
Number 2.
The Bears hear a lot of this too, and they'll get some yellow card.
First yellow card issued.
You know what? I'm looking at the time code in the 35th minute. Scotti has been booked in the 35th minute.
That's fair.
All right. Well, speaking of fair,
I gave you 2 of them. Man.
Yeah. Am I going to get to make my picks?
Yeah. Speaking of fair, how are your picks?
Let's see. NFL. My first pick going the over 41.5 in the Steelers and Texans game.
Steelers.
I just feel like both teams have a path to get to in the 20s in this. CJ Stroud is improving every week. He's looking like he's going to be pretty damn good. Steelers defense, they're creating turnovers, but they are giving up some points. I mean, they're not bad. They're just not that dominant defense right now that we thought, other than forcing turnovers. So I think the Steelers will be able to score some points on them. I just think that number's too low. So Steelers Texans over 41.5 is my first pick. Second pick, I bet on these this morning, so I haven't looked at the lines. It's just what I actually have my bet slips in. So Rams +2. I got that. They're playing at the Colts. The Colts are 2-1, but they're better than what we thought they were going to be. But I still think the Rams are the better team. I think I'll probably bet the money line also. Might sprinkle some on that. I think this line might actually move more to even. But yeah, the line's kind of confusing to me. I just think the Rams will be able to go in there, and I think they're the better team. I think they'll pull the at least +2. I think they'll get the win outright.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Rams and Colts, the big loser from this weekend's got to be Jonathan Taylor, right? Like, Devon Achane, goes off in Miami. Jeff Wilson's coming back. Miami doesn't need him. They certainly don't want to pay what Indy wants. The best spot for him is probably Indianapolis. And by the way, hey, they're winning right now, at least without them. And Zach Moss is carrying the ball well. Where's your leverage?
Yeah. Well, the one thing about the running back is there's injuries every week. Mm-hmm. So I think he'll get traded somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I still think Minnesota is they're 0-3 now. So they
just got Cam Akers.
Yeah. It's Cam Akers. Come on. I mean, I feel like if Minnesota's trying to keep their season alive, they may need it, or maybe even Detroit, depending on how bad David Montgomery's injury is.
They got Jahmyr Gibbs, the rookie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're sold on that guy to be the bell cow.
Yeah. And Scott, you're next on your board here.
My last pick here. This might not be too smart, but Miami and Buffalo. I know everybody's gonna be pounding the over on this game.
Yep.
I'm going to under 53.5. Miami put up 70 points, so they're probably feeling themselves a lot right now. Some of the interviews I've heard, they're celebrating like they should be, but I just can see kind of not really coming back to earth, but they're not putting up 70 again. I can see this being like a 24-20 type of game, a tough divisional game at Buffalo, and yeah, I got the under 53.5 on that.
You know something we don't know? Have you been checking the 5-day forecast for Buffalo? There's supposed to be some high winds and rain at Highmark Stadium.
I didn't look at the winds. I actually did look at the weather. It was in the 70s, but I was like, screw it. I'm going to under. Everybody's going to be on the over. Just give me the under.
Contrarian by nature, Scotti too hottie.
Pretty much.
All right, well, that's the NFL. Real quick on the college slate. Last week, as I switch over to that, on college last week, let's see, I went 1-2 there as well. Colorado certainly did not cover that 21.
You went 0-2-1, I thought.
Oh, yeah, I did go 0-2-1.
Because you pushed the Notre Dame,
I did push, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I had Colorado. They did not cover the spread, obviously. Ole Miss did not cover the 7 against Bama. And then Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman doesn't know how to take timeouts, doesn't know how the rules work. They end up choking that game away late, and they end up pushing Notre Dame plus the 3 against Ohio State. So.
I waited to that move to 3.5 and got it, so I got lucky on that one.
So there I am. There I am. What'd you do last week, Ryan?
Last week, I took Clemson plus 2.5. Of course, effing field goal kicker had to miss the 29-yarder, the semi-retired field goal kicker, which I didn't realize that's what they were playing with this year.
Yeah.
Well, they just brought him back. He literally walked back on.
Right, yeah. He was in Charleston doing grad school, and then they were like, oh, you want to come back and play because the guy we got here sucks.
Before that, he had at least lined up with a job in New York City.
Yeah, and then the guy missed the 29-yarder, and I knew that was it. But anyway, I had Clemson plus 2.5. Lost that in overtime, of course. I had Utah minus 4.5. Won that over UCLA, which is one of the most ugly games you would probably ever see. That was just literally a fist fight in Salt Lake City. I think that was like 14-10 was the final score of that game. It was a low-scoring game. It was very ugly. And
I think it's 14-7, yeah.
14-7, okay, yeah.
Fist fight in
4.5 was the line, yeah.
Fist fight in Salt Lake City sounds like a punk rock album, by the way.
I mean, literally, it looked like a mosh pit out there. I mean, it was a violent game. UCLA had a freshman quarterback in there, and he got sacked like 7 times. It was a bad game for him. But and then my last game I lost, Notre Dame money line, of course. Thank you, Marcus Freeman, and I appreciate you screwing me on that game last week.
Yeah, but then we get to hear Ryan Day go off against Lou Holtz. So I guess we had that.
Well, Lou Holtz, you heard what Lou Holtz said today.
I did not see his retort.
Basically, he told Ryan Day, keep coming at me. I don't care. Like, come at me. 86-year-old Lou Holtz.
Lou's going to lock him out of heaven one day. He's going to get up there, and like St. Peter's going to be like, hey, this guy said you can't come in.
Lou Holtz said, I don't give a damn. I'm 86. What you going to do to me?
Yeah. Scotty, what'd you do last week?
I actually went 2-1. I got lucky on the Florida State minus 2.5.
Okay.
And then the Colorado-Oregon under smashed. It wasn't even close. And then I did have UCLA plus 4.5, which, yeah. That was just a stupid pick. I haven't even seen UCLA play this year. I was just kind of fading Utah, but yeah.
Utes keep on winning. Well, since we ended with you, let's start with you this week for your college football selecciones.
All right. So my first pick here, I'm going Georgia at Auburn. I'm going Georgia minus 14.5. I think Georgia hasn't covered a line yet, but they've won double digits each game. I think this is kind of a name that will get them up and excited, but Auburn's just really not that good, and I think they're just going to go in there like they scored, 10 points against Texas A&M last week?
I think something like that. They got some quarterback
27-10, yeah. I think it was. Yeah, I see Georgia going there and just rolling.
That's a sneaky rivalry game. That's the oldest rivalry in the South?
That's North Carolina and Virginia. This is the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
My bad.
Yes.
Deep South.
You were alive then, though, so that's close.
I was there for the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my first pick. The second one might surprise you. I don't know. I'm going Notre Dame minus 5.5 against at Duke. I know Duke has been playing well. They're 4-0, but I think hopefully Notre Dame comes in just pissed off. I've kind of done a 180 on them. I thought, Notre Dame, they're always overrated, but I like what I've seen for them, except for at the end of the game last week. But they played Ohio State tough. Their defense had them down to 10 points until the last drive. So I think Duke's gonna have a hard time scoring on them, and I think they'll win by at least a touchdown.
College game day, by the way, in Wallace Wade Stadium, first time ever on the campus of Duke for football.
Okay, cool. Well, that's not good for my pick, but or it might be. I don't know. Let's see. And then my last pick here, I'm going back with Colorado unders until they adjust the lines. USC and Colorado under 73.5. Kind of the same thing that I was saying last week. The first 2 weeks, Colorado's offense was amazing. Have they played 4 games?
No, they played the one game without Travis Hunter.
Okay, well, yeah, he's still out, and the offense hasn't looked great the last couple weeks. So again, 73. You give me that many points, I'm gonna take the under. I can see it being like a 41-24 game or something like that.
Apparently, Travis Hunter was trying to petition Dion to let him play.
Yeah.
I saw the articles. I have not read them. I imagine Dion's going to keep him out. I mean, he does have a lacerated, liver kind of important.
Yeah. Also, real quick, so both of these teams have had over-unders in the 70s once this year, and they went under both times. So,
Scotty following the trends.
There you go.
Ryan, do you have the University of Chicago taking on Marquette?
Hey,
I didn't realize Marquette had a team at any point.
You bet on Broncos Bears. So.
Yeah, Marquette.
Yeah,
I went down a rabbit hole today of like old college football. Marquette did used to have a team. Xavier did as well.
Really?
Yeah, and the University of Detroit used to have Division I football teams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not realize that at all.
And they all finished with winning records, if I remember correctly. Most of them dropped in the 60s, 70s, somewhere around there. But yeah, Wichita State used to have football too. They encountered a plane crash, much like Marshall. That's not funny, but yeah.
As he laughs as he says it.
Yeah.
No, he did something that I looked at his face and that made me
Just
laugh.
The way you just brought it up.
Yeah.
Like, that casually.
Yeah, so I don't know. So what do you got here, Ryan?
For my first pick of the week, I'm gonna go down to the Bluegrass State. University of Florida Gators are visiting University of Kentucky Wildcats in Lexington, and Kentucky is a 1-point favorite. I'm going to take that. I think Kentucky's sneaky good. They've really been kind of under the radar this year, but they are 4-0. I think Florida could be in one of those situations where they're kind of feeling themselves a little bit. They beat Tennessee, but that game against Charlotte last week wasn't the easiest for them. I think they won like 22-7. Maybe they were looking forward to Kentucky, and maybe it wasn't.
Biff Pogge's boys will get after you, okay? He's wearing his shorts and his gym shorts and his cutoff shirt. Biff Pogge's boys will get after you, all right? Don't fuck with the 49ers.
Okay. I'll remember that next week when I'm doing my picks here. But I like what Kentucky's doing. They played well against Vandy last week. I know it's Vandy, but they look really good on offense. I mean, they've been just taking care of their business, man. So I like Devin Leary and the Wildcats to basically win that game. I guess I probably should just go money line on that game. That'd be minus 180. No. I will go money line on that game.
All right, so Wildcats money line.
Money line, yes.
You like Devin Leary, but the Kentucky fans are growing a little restless with one Devin Leary.
They're 4-0. I mean, what do you want them to do?
I think they were expecting video game numbers from him and no turnovers. He really did a good job of taking care of the ball in Raleigh, but he's been throwing some picks in Lexington.
Okay.
Much like I think Kentucky fans would like to give him back, much like State fans would like to give Brendan Armstrong back. So it's return a quarterback.
Well, I mean, at least Devin Leary is trying to learn a new offense. Brendan Armstrong, it's the same offense you ran for 2 years ago. Like this isn't new. But anyway, I'm going for the upset there with Kentucky beating Florida. Second game of the week, Clemson at Syracuse in the whatever they call it now, former Carrier Dome.
Was it JML audio?
It's some initials.
J and something.
Yeah, some initials.
I don't know.
Anyway, Syracuse. Clemson is a 7-point favorite, so I want to take Syracuse in the points. I think that again, Syracuse really hasn't played anybody this year, but they've been playing well. I think Clemson could have a letdown. I mean, that was a very emotional game that they lost to Florida State on this past Saturday. Syracuse quarterback Schrader, he's playing well as usual. They have another running back that's playing pretty good this year. Their defense has actually been very good. They pretty much shut down everybody they've played this year. I know they had that one game they had that was kind of their toughest game of the year. They went to Purdue, and they handled them pretty well at Purdue. So I just like Clemson may win the game, but I can see it just being a letdown game for them. It's tough to play in the Dome anyway. So I'm going to go Syracuse +7 there.
By the way, the Dome is the JMA Wireless Dome.
JMA Wireless. Okay.
Big time cell phone carrier. I've never heard of those motherfuckers.
They're a cell phone carrier?
It says wireless. I would assume
Okay.
cell phone. I don't think they'll be sponsoring this show. I don't know how they scrape together enough money to sponsor the Dome.
Must be like a local Syracuse, Central New York.
It's got to be.
It's got to be the one cell phone that doesn't freeze up there.
Because it's cold.
Yeah.
I got you. And then my last game will be a late night 10:30 Eastern Standard Time start in the Valley, where the University of Nevada Wolfpack, the other Wolfpack, will be playing the Fresno State Bulldogs, the recently ranked number 25 Fresno State Bulldogs. Bet them the other week to cover against Arizona State. I think it was only like a 3-point. They were favored by 3, and they clean Arizona State's clock 29-0. I feel really good about this team this year. I think they could be definitely a group of 6 candidate to get into the New Year's 6. A group of 5, I'm sorry, to get into the New Year's 6 bowl game. They are 24.5-point favorites against Nevada. Nevada's 0-4. I really like that. Really like that play. They beat somebody last week, Fresno State, 59-10. I want to say it was Kent State. It was Kent State. So they're just playing well right now. I won money off them a couple of weeks ago, so we'll go with them again.
I almost took that.
By the way, they're playing Nevada, who have a turnover trident. Nevada has, even though they're from a landlocked state and they're the Wolfpack, they have a turnover trident.
That's why they're the other Wolfpack.
Do they ever get to use it?
Well, apparently last week it was stolen by a member of the Texas State University band, and there was a talk that he threw the trident. Through further investigation, this gentleman was escorted out of the game. Apparently, he did not throw it, though. Apparently, this band member did steal the trident and pass it to the Bobcat student section.
So they turned over the turnover trident.
Yes, they did not protect the turnover trident.
I feel like these turnover trophies are getting, or turnover, whatever you want to call them, trophies are getting kind of out of hand right now. Like what Akron has, like the tires.
Yeah, the turnover, the tires.
When you put the tires around the guy's head, I'm like, like, I don't know, is that tire heavy? Like, I wouldn't want a tire over my head in the middle of a football game.
Well, when State got their interceptions, I was screaming for, bring out the turnover bone. And people were looking at me like, what the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, because we have a bone. They're wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves like bones,
I still think the best one, and I don't know if they even do this anymore, but UNLV, when they're...
Oh, the slot machine.
They had the slot machine.
Nice,
the guy got the turnover. He ran up to the slot machine and started playing. I'm like, that is the best one. But I think I'm pretty sure the NCAA.
Yeah, because I haven't seen that one since then. So
Right.
yeah,
It's along those lines. It's not football, but the NCAA in baseball cracked down this past year on celebrations outside the dugout. But Tennessee had like a pimp coat that they were given that when someone hit a home run, and Virginia Tech had like a hammer, and they would all come out and do that jump and like bang the hammer down with a home run. That was great. Football needs to take a step from it. The pimp coat was great though. I mean, by the way, that couldn't have been more Tennessee.
Yeah, sure.
What wasn't that? What was that whole scandal with the girls?
Is that Louisville?
No, well, Louisville, they had a scandal with the girls too, but what did they call them? Orange Pride or something like that a few years ago?
Orange Pride.
They had students that were like hooking up with recruits, allegedly.
Maybe.
Google that.
Sure.
Children.
that can't be
sure.
that can't be the only place that happens.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But speaking of like the home run trophies or whatever, turnover trophies, again, maybe I'm just sensitive, but does the Angels, the LA Angels one, does that just not feel racist? Like when they put like the samurai show, like what's the guy from Mortal Kombat?
Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Shao Kahn, like the hat, the big wide brim straw hat. I'm like, and when they put it on Shohei Ohtani, I'm like, damn, that just seems like Shohei would be like, no, don't put this on me. Like it just seems wrong. I don't know.
He would have had to approve that though, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's just I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe that's why he wants out.
I don't know.
Don't the Orioles have like a bong that they like made them stop using? It was like a beer bong.
I think they still use
They
it.
still use
Oh,
it.
yeah. I thought they were doing it like in the clubhouse, but like not on the field anymore or whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think the Mariners have a trident too, don't they?
Yeah, they
Which
do.
makes more sense for them, but
Yeah, perfect sense.
Yeah.
We'll see if the Angels use that when Otani's gone next year.
Right? Yeah.
Then it would be a little weird.
you know what? The Astros should go back to the Colt 45s and just start Yosemite Sam and fire it into the air.
I mean, this is gonna be bad too, but I would love if they did it in the NFL. They don't do it as much in the NFL, but if like Washington Commanders would somebody get like an Indian headdress and put it on.
That might be racist.
I don't think. Maybe 5 years ago. Okay.
Don't give Dan Campbell any ideas. He'll have a goddamn turnover lion out there. He just mauls your quarterback. Aiden Hutchinson with the strip sack fumble, and the quarterback's being mauled. That's Justin Fields' intestines right there. Speaking of mauls, so my college football picks will probably get mauled, and I've deviated from some of the big games, and I've gone off the radar a little bit here.
Here we go.
So, my first pick here, 2-2, the Cyclones of Iowa State University heading into Norman to play the 14th ranked Sooners of Oklahoma. 7 o'clock kick, FS1. Oklahoma is a 20-point favorite. Over under is 48.5 there. If Matt Campbell can coach his boys up and try to stop fighting fans, I don't know if y'all saw that video the other week where someone screamed at them, Campbell, you're on the hot seat, and they had to literally restrain him from fighting a fan, heading to the locker room.
Should have left when he had a chance.
Yeah, that guy. Jeez Louise, talk about hanging on too long.
Right.
Sooners right now, quietly one of the best teams in the nation. They have just been rolling along and just destroying people, and that defense is playing a lot better, too, on the year 2 under Brent Venables. Here's the thing. This is a trap game for them. They got the Red River Shootout. I still call it that. Next week against Texas, number 3 ranked Longhorns. I think they're going to have one eye on that game. I don't think Iowa State wins, but I think Oklahoma kind of gets comfortable in cruise control. I think Iowa State covers the 20. So I'm going to take the Cyclones plus the 20. Plus, they usually play pretty decent defense. So I'm going to take Iowa State plus the 20. Then I'm going to go college game day. Number 11, Notre Dame, 4-1 at number 17, Duke, Saturday, 7:30 on ABC.
Don't do it.
Notre Dame, 5.5-point favorite, over under 52, as Scotty was saying. By the way, guys, you know what the last top 20 matchup was at Wallace Wade Stadium? The last time 2 top 20 teams played there?
Was it Virginia Tech?
No. The last time 2 top 20 teams faced off at Wallace Wade Stadium, the home of the Duke Blue Devils, was November the 5th, 1960.
Oh, jeez.
That day, the 13th ranked Duke Blue Devils upset the 4th ranked Navy Midshipmen 19-10.
Wow.
It's been that long since there was a top 20 matchup at Wallace Wade Stadium.
Wow.
We know it was a long time if it was Navy.
Yeah. So Duke, I am going to go with the under in this game here, under 52. Duke's D is giving up 8.8 points per game, and Duke is +5 on the turnover ratio. I think they know Sam Hartman. They've seen him in the ACC. I think Notre Dame likes to run the ball. Duke's defense is good, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at how good Duke is, and they like to hit. And so I'm going to go with the under in this game here, and maybe sprinkle a little money on Blue Devils' money line too.
My sleeper ACC team.
Yeah.
We made our picks. That guy, what's the coach name?
Mike Elko.
Elko he can coach, man. Like, he was good at Notre Dame. He was good at A&M. I mean, he's just a good coach.
By the way, who do you think is the guest picker for college game day? Who do you think they bring out there?
Coach K.
Think K? Scotty?
Coach K sounds pretty good, actually. Well, they've already had Ken Jong going there. I would say him because he went to Duke. I only know that because I saw like a 30 for 30. I think it was the I Hate Christian Leitner.
Okay. Yeah, he was on there. Leitner might be a good pick.
Yeah, Leitner could be there. I think it'll be basketball related because there's really nobody football.
Yeah, like Grant Hill.
You fly Daniel Jones in.
Yeah. Steve Spurrier, old ball coach, come back.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. The old ball coach, you want someone that's going to give you a sound bite. And remember in the coaches poll all those years, no matter how bad Duke was, Spurrier, you would see that one vote for Duke in the top 25. That was always Spurrier. Yeah. He's always had a special place for Duke in his heart there. I wouldn't be surprised to see the old ball coach come out there.
Be interesting. Be good.
I'll say Jason Tatum. How about that?
Okay.
God, he went to Duke.
Yeah.
Or, another guy, Kyrie, in his 11 games there, he can come out and talk about flat earth theory and stuff.
I was going to say that, but does ESPN really want him out there?
Hey, promote the NBA package. A little cross promotion there.
Hey.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe they'll just bring they just bring all the one and dones from Duke. They'll just bring them all out.
Yeah.
William Avery. Here he
Avery.
is. Yeah,
exactly. Elton Brand.
What number did you get that at?
So I got it at 52. I'm going to go under 52 in this game here between Notre Dame and Duke. And then my nightcap, San Diego State. Aztecs 2-3 on the year, going to the academy, taking on Air Force. Falcons 4-0, 8:00 kick, CBS Sports Network. Air Force is a 10.5-point favorite. Over under is 43.5. This game right here, San Diego State has lost their last 3, but listen to their last 3: UCLA, Oregon State, Boise State.
Boise State's the worst team in there, and they're no slouch. They got a couple losses, but you go back and look at their losses, it's not bad. So they've played some good competition there. Aztecs kind of go as their quarterback, Jalen Mayton, who is a converted safety. He's a dual threat guy. His legs are going to be the difference. I'm not sure if they come out of Colorado Springs with the win, but I do like San Diego State plus the 10.5 against the Falcons there.
Yeah, he did kind of go off the normal trail with that one.
Hey, little Mountain West action. I'm a big Mountain West guy. All right.
Are they going to get you think they're going to get Washington State and Oregon State, or are they going to?
I'm glad you said that. By the way, so have you guys seen the report that like they may add them, but they also may add some other teams and do like a relegation thing?
No.
Yeah, there's reports that like the Mountain West is exploring adding what's left of the Pac-12, and they may keep the Pac-12, whatever name, whatever it is, but they want to essentially break it up into tiers where you have like 8 teams that's like the top tier. And then you have like another 8, and that's kind of like the Mountain West tier. So you essentially have like the Pac-8, then like then like the Mountain West. Then you have like another 8, and maybe these are some other group of 5 schools or some other schools that have come up from the FCS that are regional, maybe in North Dakota State, maybe in Montana or something. And then for football, it's only football. There will be promotion and relegation each year based upon that previous year. I don't mind it. I think it's something outside the box.
I like it.
And if we're going to see like these tiers of super conferences, I think that's one way to keep things fresh, keep it exciting, and then to keep that Power 5 status potentially. I really like the idea of that.
Yeah, I like it.
I think, like you're saying, it'll be something new. It'll be something fresh. It'll keep people interested, maybe in that conference, just because it's different from everybody else. Their gimmick, I guess.
Like you said, the super conferences, like they should do that too.
Yeah. Oh,
you have a 24-team conference, like you're playing a third of your division each year. Like,
NC State and Virginia, they've played 6 times since the ACC expanded in 2004.
Yeah.
Like it's they might as well be in different conferences in football.
Yes.
I think that's a great way to kind of see how things go. And State and Virginia would probably be in the same tier most years if the ACC had done this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, I like that idea. That's smart. If that comes to pass.
And if you have let's say you have a team like a Sam Houston State that just moved up, that's an opportunity where, hey, you can knock off a UNLV, you can beat Air Force, you can beat Wyoming, you can move up, or a team like Wyoming, by the way, the Pokes, I almost had them on my board again this week. They are a sneaky team out there in the Mountain West, but that's an opportunity for a team like that to move up and maybe get to a big bowl game by winning that league. I like it. I think it's really exciting. And I think TV-wise, I think you could sell it because it's every game, literally every game matters.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they do that, other conferences will start doing it too.
Yeah. I'm game for it. You know what? Let's go ahead and start our own conference.
Of what teams?
Let's not do this conference.
Let's not do this conference. I'll go ahead and take what was it, Johnson and Wales? Is that where you go to be a chef?
I was gonna say take Bridgewater.
We'll get
I don't think we're pulling them out of the ODAC.
Okay, I didn't know.
We'll get VCU when they get a football team.
So never.
One day.
Yeah. Maybe who's out there that's homeless right now looking for a team? You know what? Chicago State. I just saw a report the other day that the Cougars of Chicago State are exploring adding FCS football.
Okay.
Oh boy.
The Cougars.
The city of Chicago is. I guess they need any type of football team now because the Bears suck.
We get
like forever. Like they just will never be good. Like seriously. Like if I was a Bears fan. That has to be, other than maybe being a Washington fan, Scotti, that has to be one of the toughest, just teams to root for, continuously.
Yeah.
It hasn't been good since '85. I mean, when did they had a really good team? I guess he got to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman, but that was kind of flash in the pan type of thing.
Well, I think, didn't they go back to the NFC Championship game once with Cutler?
Yeah, that's the game.
Like 09 or something like that.
That was the game that he stopped playing, or he got hurt or something. He moped on the sideline, and the backup was in there, and he wouldn't talk to the backup at all about anything.
I think the toughest one right now is Carolina. Honestly, is the Panthers. I mean, that franchise. I don't even feel like people are mad. They're just apathetic.
They're just irrelevant. By the way, Bryce Young's not playing. I don't really think he's too nicked up. I think they're just like want to save him a little bit, but no one's really talking about it. The offensive line's in shambles. They spend all this money offensively. They've done nothing. But when does anyone ever talk about the Panthers in the NFL sense?
Yeah,
never.
North Carolina and South Carolina are just tough states with professional sports. I mean, it's such a college area. I mean, the ACC schools and University of South Carolina, it's just a college. They're just college states. I mean, even Virginia to an extent. I mean, they love their Commanders and the Orioles and Braves, but I just feel like Virginia is still a college sports state. It's just a tough area for a professional team kind of to get grasp. If you put it in Carolina, I mean, the Charlotte Hornets don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Charlotte FC, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if it's not UNC or Clemson or NC State or if it's not college related, it's like, all right, it's like the second thing to do.
Well, something to do is a new show for you to watch on Max now as we transition away from sports called Naked Attraction. Apparently, this is a British dating show. Apparently, it's coming to Max. It's going to be a 6-season series, and it's going to be full frontal nudity on this. So the UK series revolves around players who can eliminate potential dates if their birthday suit-wearing bodies aren't up to his or her standards. Each contestant will then later be judged themselves while wearing no clothes. Y'all gonna watch this show? Our suspended friend Chris was probably DVRing it right now.
Probably not.
Nope.
What? That's like no brains. Hey, let's just have people be naked and date each other.
You know what though? I actually appreciate this show. Dating shows are terrible, right? It's all fake and all. But look, let's cut to the chase, right? Most of dating, at least at first, there's a physical attraction, right? I mean, if you see a good-looking woman, or Scotti in your case, if you see a good-looking man walking down the street, immediately that's going to catch your thought. And you're like, oh, let me go talk to her. Let me go talk to him. Let me, we're just drawing a physical attraction right off the bat, right? So let's just, and then you kind of get to know the person. It's like, oh, yeah, you know what? She's really nice and she's smart. And I really like how dedicated she is to her career and stuff. That's great. You learn all that other stuff afterwards. But at first, there's a physical attraction there. And this show just strips it all away, literally. And so they're just out there. So it's kind of weird, though. It's kind of like a meat market.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a little it's no intrigue to it or no. It's just.
Right. Because it takes all the monologue. Who cares what they're saying at that point?
Right.
Yeah.
If you're just looking at someone's ass and titties. I mean, literally, if you're a guy, I mean, this girl could be dumb as rocks, and you start talking to her, and she's like, I can't put a complete sentence together because I'm not smart or whatever. I don't know.
I like to travel. Who gives a shit?
So, literally, is this some girls going to be just walking by, too short, too short, too short, in more ways than one,
Will they really be saying too short?
Too little, maybe? I don't know.
I was going to say they'd be saying, oh, her tits aren't big enough or they're too small. I mean, that's how, I guess, out front these guys are going to be. I mean, if you're on a show, you're going to be naked and she's going to be naked. I mean, the whole point is to talk about the other person's body.
If I'm on that
in
show,
graphic detail.
Yeah.
If I'm on that show, I think I'm going to take a Viagra cocktail. I'm taking 6. I'm going to OD on Viagra before I go out there.
I don't know. I just the contestants on that show, I don't understand your mentality. It's I don't think I can get anybody to date me, so I got to go on the show and be naked to have I don't know. The mentality of the show is weird. I mean, if they're getting paid, okay, I can understand that's a paycheck, or if it's a way to go viral, maybe, I guess eventually they'll show their faces and stuff, whoever gets picked, or selected by the guy or the girl or whoever it may be. But I don't know. It just seems like it's a weird mentality to have. Be like, yeah, I can't attract anybody other than to get naked in front of them.
Yes, it's weird.
Scotti, would you be a contestant on that show?
Hell no. Would you?
You know what? Not in my current state.
Okay.
Give me 2004, Leon. I'll go out there. I'll be strutting.
If we put up some money to get them to pick you, would you go?
Well, I don't think my my lovely bride is going to be too happy with me being naked on a dating show. You might use it as a chance to finally get rid of me. So
we'll give her some. We'll give her some money too.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? It's your problem now.
Take them.
Yeah, take them. Can you imagine being like the last person? It's got to be like the last kid picked in dodgeball.
Like the first. Whoa, wait a minute.
If you're not,
they pick people?
If you're not picked or whatever, I don't know the rules to this show. I mean, I don't know if you go through and it's like going to the deli. Let me get some salami and some prosciutto and let me get a little turkey. I don't know if you pick multiple people, but there's got to be somebody who's gonna be like left behind, right? Like, and by the way, I want to see what these people look like. Because like not everyone's gonna look like not every dude's gonna look like an extra from 300. Somebody's got to look like Danny DeVito.
Well, yeah, I assume they would have, people that all shapes and sizes of bodies.
Body positivity, body inclusive.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Body inclusive.
Look at that. I use my woke word of the day. It's like Pee Wee Herman just busting out of nowhere. Yeah. You think our suspended friend would go on the show?
No, I doubt it.
I couldn't see him doing it.
He would.
He want to be in the audience. But he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I imagine people are in like some sort of like capsule and they're standing there, and it's like, okay, Scotti. And then like it opens up. His would just be full of smoke. He would just like literally be standing there smoking. You wouldn't be able to see anything. The damn thing would just be clogged.
And like he's still like not naked because he won't take off his basketball shorts.
Yeah.
Very true.
Right.
He's like, no, he's like, these don't come off.
Yeah. This is actually part of my body.
Comes with cigarettes. Right. Oh boy. So all right. So let me ask you this: so you wouldn't go on the show I guess either way. If you go on the show to pick someone, they still have to see you naked. I think college me would have done this.
College you would have done a lot of things, from what you've told me.
I'd be dead probably, but yeah, I think I would have done it. You know what? If we can build a time machine, Ryan, I'll let you get on that. If we can build a time machine and go back, I'm going to go on that show.
All right, I'll start working on it today.
All right, somebody smart out there. Let's figure this shit out. Elon, stop charging people for Twitter, and let's get going on this.
It's X, sir. It's X.
X. Excuse me. Well, you know what? We can get the X-rated nude stuff on the X app there. That should be a natural advertising partnership there.
Yes, it could be.
Yeah, you
flip that to X.
Watch watch episodes of Naked Attraction uncensored for free on X.
Hey.
Get it for free with your X subscription.
Hey.
Look at that. I just made you money, Elon.
Hey, Elon, if you're listening,
send me a Tesla.
Yeah. Hey, Leon, let's not do this podcast.
Yeah. So, Scotti, you sent this one over. Apparently, there was a pooch with some flatulence that caused an issue on a flight for a New Zealand couple.
Yeah, so this couple got on the flight, and they were in first class, I believe. And I guess it was a service dog, but I guess he had anxiety, which I would think doesn't make the greatest service dog. But yeah, so I guess he just kept farting, and the couple got really upset, and then it got worse and worse, and then they had like 2 extra seats, but it was like back in, I guess, coach or whatever. It wasn't first class.
In the Ryan class.
Sure, if that's what you want to call
hey,
it.
Man.
So finally they finally agreed. I guess it got too bad, and they finally moved back there, but they ended up like asking for a refund, and they offered them like a couple $100. They wouldn't take it. They ended up getting like $1,400, I think, like their tickets refunded in full.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, isn't that, I don't know. I think that's crazy.
So they were flying on Singapore Airlines, a flight from Paris, and they were, this was back in June there. So here's my thing. I want to juxtapose this with, remember that story we did a couple weeks ago with the Delta flight? They had this shit running down the aisles. The person had diarrhea from Atlanta to like Barcelona.
Yep.
Yeah.
What flight would you rather be on? With the human excrement running down there or the dog fart? Because dog farts are terrible. I mean, shit is shit, but dog farts are awful.
The dog.
How far am I from the the diarrhea? Am I like sitting like the row behind that guy, or am I on the other side of the plane?
I think
downwind.
I think if you were, well, yeah.
If I'm on the other side of the plane, I don't give a fuck. Oh, shit.
Going by the
shit.
pictures, I think if you were on that plane, you were near it.
Oh, really?
It was like all down the aisle.
Probably farting dog.
Yeah, I think it's farting dog.
So, did these people get compensated on the flight from Atlanta to Barcelona? Because you got to be like, look, there was a river of shit on my plane.
They had to deplane, so they had to go on a different flight.
But still, you had to experience that. I'll take a dog fart over a river of shit.
Well, dog farts are bad, but they don't last long. They kind of just, they're gone.
I don't know, man. Especially like the dogs that do the silent ones, like, you know, like dogs are just like people. The ones that you don't like hear are the ones that are the worst.
Yeah.
And you get the dogs that'll do it, then they'll just like roll out and walk away, and then it just hits you, and it's like Rusty, you know, like fuck, man. I appreciate your dog not farting on me. By the
He
way.
does though. He does the same thing.
He just pissed on me like our
Yeah,
cat.
like I say,
Yeah.
would you rather have the dog fart on you or piss?
Oh, I would rather be. Well, actually,
We know what you're about to say.
there's
You didn't
fart
want to say
has
it out loud.
poo particles. You know, like I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Can you just vomit on me?
I don't know,
I
man.
think I'd rather take the pee than the vomit,
Really?
depending on how much vomit it is. I
They
guess.
allegedly say that a dog's mouth is like cleaner than ours, right?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was told. Yeah,
The
that's what I was
vomit's
told, yeah.
got to be, you know, what he just throws up some dry food or something on me. I don't know. I
I
don't know. Unless they've been eating pigeons or something in the backyard. I don't know. They caught a
say-
squirrel.
could have been eating his own poo.
Oh, that's just an amalgamation of nasty.
I just don't see how they get a full refund.
Well, they said the airline offered them like a $73 voucher, like at first, gift voucher,
And then they kept going up.
and then the airline offered them $200 per person, so it'd have been like $400. And I guess the airline was just like, screw it, we'll give you the $1,400 back.
Because how's that different than somebody being smelly sitting next to you? Do you get a refund because of that?
Yeah, what if you sit next to a baby that shits itself on the flight?
How about if you're sitting by a man that farts? I mean, literally,
Right,
like a
yeah.
dog fart. Okay, this guy beside me was farting the whole flight.
Yeah.
Like, why is that? I want a refund.
And you know,
I
like,
guess
all
because they
the-
went public, I guess. And so I guess once that happens, they're just like, give them whatever they want.
you know, all the different service animals that we have now. Like, what if somebody has a service pig, you know, and like Babe the service pig, like farts on the plane, you know?
I saw
Like,
a story once. It was like a bird, I think, like a service bird. Somebody brought on a plane.
how can a bird
Yeah,
be of
I
service?
don't know. Maybe it talks to them. I don't know.
So was it a parrot or something?
I think it might have been.
Polly, call AT&T, cancel phone bill, cancel phone bill. Like, what is the bird going to do? Does it use his beak to like dial numbers
I think
for
it was
you?
probably clearly bullshit. But they were able to get it on the plane, so
All right, so here's what we do. This is how we get free flights. I'm going to get a service chipmunk, and I'm just going to feed this thing as many nuts as possible. And because I don't want to carry something like big, you know? I'll just get like a service chipmunk, and I'll just feed as many nuts as possible, and I'll just like he'll just drop deuces all over the plane. And then Scotty, you complain, and you'll get your ticket for free. Then we'll do the same thing on the next flight, you know?
Alright, and then we just split the difference.
Yeah.
All right.
Leon's just gonna bring him on a plane and take him out of his little cage and be like, "Go, Alvin, go."
Give him some, what's that stuff they drink on Family Guy to make them all throw up? Was it syrup of Ipecac or something like that? Yeah, give him some Ipecac.
Go, Alvin, go. He's just shitting all over the place.
We'll be getting a letter from PETA at the end of this episode.
Fuck them.
You can forward that to our suspended friend Chris. He'll take care of that. All right. So then one more before we get out of here. So we had the farting dogs, and then there's a video going viral right now on TikTok. You guys ever heard of the Scandinavian sleep method?
No, what's that?
So apparently, I guess in Scandinavian countries, rather than have like one big blanket on the bed, they have like several smaller ones, essentially.
Okay.
And you know, Scotty, now I know you've never spent the night with a woman before, but when you spend the night with a woman, they will hog the covers,
Yes.
like and just straight up steal them. My wife steals covers from me every single day, and it gets worse in the winter. I like cold weather, but I wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm just freezing my ass off, and she's wrapped up like a tortilla or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the one big blanket that she steals, the Scandinavian sleep method, which they say could save your marriage, you get several little blankets, maybe 2 little blankets. You have your own and she has her own. I think this is ingenious. How have we never thought about this? Why are we so dumb Americans that we've never thought about this?
I think it's genius.
Yeah, I like it too.
I will take it a step further.
Uh-oh.
Why don't everybody just get their own sleeping bags?
I thought you were going to say own bed. It's like, damn, Ryan.
Well, no, I don't want to take it back to Ward and June Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver. But
do some trust jumping or whatever was soaking.
Yeah, soaking.
Have y'all seen Jury Duty, that show?
No.
All right, well, it's kind of long to explain, but they have a guy, like there's two people soaking, and James Marsden's in it. I don't know if you know who he is, but they ask him to come in the room and jump on the bed for him. Yeah.
Hey, if anyone wants to soak and needs a trust jumper or whatever, look at me. I'm really good at that. I can make the motion of the ocean for you there.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I think after a couple of jumps, you might be done.
That's very true. Well, I don't, if you're soaking, you're probably not going to be lasting that long anyway, so it might work. I will gladly do it for some BYU football tickets. So send that to me.
What are you insinuating, that this happens at BYU?
Yeah.
They are the soakers.
I just don't want to get in trouble with the Mormon church, or there's a big ass one that's right down the road from us. I don't want them to be marching down here and coming after us.
They did go into Arkansas and beat the Razorbacks in the week of football. So I don't fuck with them. Yeah. All right. So you want to go sleeping bags?
Yeah, I mean, like, why not? I mean, like it's basically the same thing, and more or less. I mean, you're a little more, I guess it's a little more tight in there, but I mean, you have your own little blanket that's just wrapped around you, basically.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of sleeping bags though. They get too hot.
Yeah, what do you do when maybe it's 2 a.m. you want to wake up and have some familiar time with your lady?
Zip. I mean, they're not locks on the sleeping bags, are they?
Don't mind me, baby. I'm just unzipping this bag. Again? No, Ryan. Jeez, no. Sleeping bags.
Hey, man, everybody thought the twin blankets were weird. And I guarantee you some country in Scandinavia or Germany or be like, well, we do sleeping bags now. And you'll be like, 10 years from now, you'll be like, oh, why didn't we think of this earlier? Wait a second, Ryan thought of that.
Was that your European voice?
Yeah, it was.
That might be racist.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That was bad. Sorry, Scandinavian countries and Germany, whatever country.
Germany's not a Scandinavian country.
I said and Germany, like separate. I know the Scandinavian countries.
What's Scandinavian? Like Norway, Finland,
Sweden,
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Well, the girl they're talking to in this article, she said, my husband is from Germany, and we've always used the Scandinavian blankets or whatever they call them.
Listen, as we talked about the other week, I forget what story it was, but you remember Loveline had that Germany or Florida game. Like all weird kind of emanates from there. So the fact that the German, it's probably some weird sexual perversion that he has or something like that. Probably. Who knows what that guy's doing? Yeah.
I mean, hey, again, just thinking outside the box with the sleeping bags. I mean, the blankets are great, but wouldn't that get a little? You would have a chance for your wife or your girlfriend or whoever you like to sleep with at night,
or your computer if you're Scotti.
Yeah, or whoever, they could get greedy and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take your blanket too." That's the thing. Sleeping bag, they can't grab that off of you.
See, that is true. My wife would take my blanket, and then I would just bring another one, and she would take that one too.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like the Sudetenland. Like she doesn't know when to stop. You know what I mean?
She'll just keep taking. Like that's the only thing that could be a little, a little dicey about the second blanket.
Did I just compare my wife to Germany stealing land in World War II?
I was gonna, go by that really quickly, but
yeah.
Well, I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight, and at that point, I can use a sleeping bag.
Yes, you will. You will have your own sleeping bag, blanket, whatever you want.
Yeah. Hopefully, she doesn't listen to this far.
She's one of 14 people
she's probably checked out.
that do listen. And our Scandinavian audience is probably hitting the unsubscribe button right now, which reminds me, you people should be hitting the subscribe button. As we get ready to wrap this bad boy up, make sure to subscribe on the YouTube and where else, Scotti?
We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Let's Not Do This Podcast, and X/Twitter at _Let's Not Do This.
Nice. Any final words of wisdom from you, Ryan? Any more sleeping bags you got up your sleeve or anything?
Sleeping bags are the way. It's the future.
You know what goes on in the Ryan Dickerson household at night?
Do we?
Zip.
Oh, to go vomit.